Section 1 of the works of Robert G. Ingersoll, Volume 3, Lectures, Shakespeare. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit Librivox.org. This recording by Michelle Fry, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Lecture 1, Shakespeare, Part 1. William Shakespeare was the greatest genius of our world. He left to us the richest legacy of all the dead, the treasures of the rarest soul that ever lived and loved and wrought of words, the statues, pictures, robes, and gems of thought. It is hard to overstate the debt we owe to the men and women of genius. Take from our world what they have given, and all the niches would be empty, all the walls naked. Meaning and connection would fall from words of poetry and fiction, music would go back to common air, and all the forms of subtle and enchanting art would lose proportion and become the unmeaning waste and shattered spoil of thoughtless chance. Shakespeare is too great a theme. I feel as though endeavoring to grasp a globe so large that the hand obtains no hold. He who would worthily speak of the great dramatist should be inspired by a muse of fire that should ascend the brightest heaven of invention. He should have a kingdom for a stage and monarchs to behold the swelling scene. Yes, more than 3 centuries ago, the most intellectual of the human race was born. He was not of supernatural origin. At his birth there were no celestial pyrotechnics. His father and mother were both English, and both had a cheerful habit of living in this world. The cradle in which he was rocked was canopied by neither myth nor miracle, and in his veins there was no drop of royal blood. This babe became the wonder of mankind. Neither of his parents could read or write. He grew up in a small and ignorant village on the banks of the Avon, in the midst of the common people of 300 years ago. There was nothing in the peaceful, quiet landscape on which he looked, nothing in the low hills, the cultivated and undulating fields, and nothing in the murmuring stream to excite the imagination. Nothing, so far as we can see, calculated to sow the seeds of the subtlest and sublimest thought. So there is nothing connected with his education, or his lack of education, that in any way accounts for what he did. It is supposed that he attended school in his native town, but of that we are not certain. Many have tried to show that he was, after all, of gentle blood, but that fact seems to be the other way. Some of his biographers have sought to do him honor by showing that he was patronized by Queen Elizabeth, but of this there is not the slightest proof. As a matter of fact, there never sat on any throne a king, queen, or emperor who could have honored William Shakespeare. Ignorant people are apt to overrate the value of what is called education. The sons of the poor, having suffered the privations of poverty, think of wealth as the mother of joy. On the other hand, the children of the rich, finding that gold does not produce happiness, are apt to underrate the value of wealth. So the children of the educated often care but little for books and hold all culture in contempt. The children of great authors do not, as a rule, become writers. Nature is filled with tendencies and obstructions. Extremes beget limitations, even as a river by its own swiftness creates obstructions for itself. Possibly many generations of culture breed a desire for the rude joys of savagery, and possibly generations of ignorance breed such a longing for knowledge that of this desire, of this hunger of the brain, genius is born. It may be that the mind, by lying fallow, by remaining idle for generations, gathers strength. Shakespeare's father seems to have been an ordinary man of his time and class. About the only thing we know of him is that he was officially reported for not coming monthly to church. This is good as far as it goes. We can hardly blame him, because at that time Richard Byfield was the minister at Stratford, and an extreme Puritan, one who read the Psalter by Sternhold and Hop.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?